Not today, pal. Not today.
Are there any celebrities that if you found out they were fucking assholes, like pieces of shit, somebody's like, I met them, they were so mean, and you heard the story, you're like, they sound like a fucking asshole, that it wouldn't matter to you, you'd still be like, I don't care that they're an asshole, I still love them, or
Like, meaning I'd still watch their stuff
or
and
like
whatever?
I just like somebody who you're like, oh, I love that celebrity, I love that person, and then you hear they're a real piece of shit, but then you go like, it doesn't matter.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. How does he skate? Like, how does he?
Because he makes me happy when I watch him in anything he does. Like, I just like Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
Anybody honestly in the Judd Apatow universe, I wouldn't care because they're so fucking funny. It wouldn't matter to me that they're assholes, I guess.
Wow, really? What if they were an asshole to you?
Well, then I'd be crying on your shoulder. You know that.
Yeah, you can't
And then
handle.
I'd blame myself of why they were an asshole and still watch their stuff.
Yeah, then I would have to get in Paul Rudd's face.
Yeah.
Which would be,
Wow, I would actually like to see that.
Yeah, well, he'd have to be an asshole to you, so you wouldn't like to see it.
Right.
I would never
right,
just get in
right,
Paul Rudd's
right,
face.
right.
I love Paul Rudd, but listen, if he gets in your face,
Who would you?
If he's a piece of shit to you, listen. If somebody told me Michael Jordan was the biggest piece of shit in the world,
Right,
it doesn't
athletes I
change.
get.
But there's
Athletes
some
and musicians I get. Right? Because you're like, but I still love their music. You know what I mean? Like, even like Michael Jackson, right? Like his songs.
What did he ever do? Yeah.
His songs come on the radio and I'm like, I fucking love Billie Jean,
Of
you know?
course. And that's why they don't, they try to cancel everybody. They you can't cancel Michael Jackson. You go to fucking a kid's birthday, they're playing Michael Jackson. Like,
Right. I mean, if he was alive still, I probably wouldn't be going to a concert.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
because he would
knowing
suck.
what he did.
Well, again, but I guess, yeah, but listen, this is a touchy.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah. Well done, Jamie-Lynn. We could just stop right
But
there.
I do think musicians and athletes get a lot of grace for being assholes because they are known sometimes to be like assholes. But comedians can be a bummer. Like, oh, somebody that like makes you laugh, but then is a dick, which happens, I think, a lot with comedians too.
Yeah, I think it also depends how long you've liked this person, right? Like, if you just hear somebody's music and then you hear they're a piece of shit, it would probably affect me to not
Sure.
liking it, to where, like, listen, I've loved Pearl Jam for fucking 30 years. If you're like, they're a piece of shit, it's like, what am I going to do? Like, stop
Yeah,
fucking
they're not.
listening to
Eddie
Pearl
Vedder's
Jam?
so nice.
Oh, my
Oh.
God. That picture of Michael Jackson was wild that they just showed us. Holy
Can you imagine
cow.
that? Like, you look through a peephole and you see that.
Oh, Jamie. Oh, I mean,
That's what he looked like when he died.
I mean, I feel like when you say you
Wait,
look
that's
through a peephole and see
that's
that.
altered, right? That's not how he. Okay, thank you, Annie.
Is it altered?
That's post-nut
Is that
Michael Jackson.
Is that a painting? Yeah.
I hope it's
Wow.
altered.
By the way, this makes for a horrible pod because I could stare at that for an hour, but also never want to see it again.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
I can't look
Wow.
away.
You want me to just leave it up for you?
Please, yeah.
Okay.
Now that we got the cartoons down, we could put up pictures of Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, he just has candles burning now.
Thank you. It's calm, very calming. What about who are the nicest celebrities you've ever met?
Tom Hanks.
I thought you were gonna say Segura. I was gonna be like, what?
He is so nice.
Of course.
But I have to say, like, people that I'm like not friends with, obviously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Tom
like,
Hanks, yeah.
Tom
Yeah,
Hanks.
one of the nicest. When I met him,
ever.
but also like, all he had to do was not. He was obviously very nice when I met him, but all he had to do was not be a piece of shit.
Right.
Because you're like, it's fucking Tom Hanks.
Right.
You know, like he could have like just looked over my head the whole time and
Totally.
not said anything. I would have been like, what a nice guy.
Totally.
Yeah.
I did get to work with her, and I've always loved her. But Vanessa Williams was like, she's just like so beautiful and so nice. I did a pilot with her, and she's just was so nice. I love her. Will Ferrell, I interviewed him on Messy, and he was awesome.
Wow, that's sick.
He was just so cool and so nice and so everything you'd expect him to be.
That's great.
Yeah.
Your other pod, you interview Will Ferrell. Here we have PG. It's pretty much the same.
They're both the same.
Nicest celebrity I've ever met was probably Beth Stern, Howard Stern's
Really?
wife.
What do you mean? Then what made her the nicest? Was she like, I'll cook you I'll cook you dinner.
She was just like when I met her the first time, she was the nicest person ever because she was doing a show with Steve Sharippa. They used to do a show. Did you ever do that show with them? They did like a show for like, what was that? FX?
Like a
back
talk
in the
show?
day, or like Spike TV. And
Was it a talk show?
It was called Casino Cinema, and they would watch a movie, and in the commercials, they would play casino games.
Oh, fun.
So it'd be like you're watching a movie, and then they cut to commercial, and they'd be like, all right, we got blackjack going here. Yeah, it was cool, whatever. But she was so nice.
That's cool.
Like, unbelievably nice. And then, like, I saw her at a party somewhere, and I was doing, like, one of those things where, like, I saw her, and I'm like, she won't remember me, so I'm not going to say hi or whatever. And then, like, she came over and was like, hey, I don't know if you remember. And I was like,
that's really nice.
And she was so nice, and she's just like, how have you been? And like remembered something I think that like I said, like, but, and she's like, how's this? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
that's cool.
And she was just a very genuinely nice
I met
person.
Jennifer Aniston in a bathroom once. We were at an event, and it was small. There was probably only like 30 people at this dinner, and I came out of the stall and she was washing her hands, and she was like, hey. And I was like, hi. And she was so nice. She's like, how are you? And she was very lovely. Like, she could have just nodded and kind of like walked out and it would have been fine, but she struck up a conversation, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, when we used to go to like the Emmys and stuff, my favorite thing outside of hanging out with our friends was getting to see the cast of Friends, because I fucking loved to like, you know, Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry. Like when you'd see those guys,
yeah, and they were
like,
always super cool.
They were always so nice. They totally like got that they were like the people to see at the thing, and it was like.
Yeah.
And you know, the first time I was like 13 and seeing like fucking Jennifer, and like you see them like together and you're like, holy shit. Like, I don't even know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me with the Sex and the City crew. And we were around them all the time because of HBO. Yeah. All those girls were super nice.
See, I was like 12, 13, so I never watched Sex and the City. So I was like, oh, they're just,
right.
that's like
and
that
I was
person.
16, 17, so it was like right up my alley.
And then Kim Cattrall, like we talked about with her singing.
Never do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I guess we already talked about it, but it's like she got a lot of shit, but I always thought she was so nice.
She was so nice.
We probably already said this. Yeah.
So nice.
Was there anybody who you met who you were disappointed that you were just like, oh, I wish I could, for any reason?
No one I can think of, to be honest. I'm also very shy and so don't want to ever walk into a moment like that. So I would say 9 times out of 10, if I was around somebody that I was a fan of and excited to meet, I wouldn't go up and talk to them for that reason.
I bet there's people who, when they're asked who the nicest famous person they've ever met, they say you.
Really?
I bet.
Well,
right,
yeah,
boys?
but I'm like,
Right,
I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
like medium famous. Do you know what I mean? I don't think when people are thinking that question, they're gonna think of like super famous people. I'm not like, I'm not like at the level where you'd be like the nicest celebrity I've ever met. Like, I don't think I'm like where you gauge that type of celebrity that you would answer that question with.
Listen, I don't want to start comparing people, but I think you were, especially like there was a time when like I don't know if you were on Sopranos and Entourage at the same time, were you? Or that was
No, I
different
did
time?
Entourage right after.
Yeah, so if you're on like the number one here, she's been described. What is this? Woman you kind friend. She's been described as a woman you kind of just want to be your best friend.
Who has been described as
That's
that?
you, according to Google.
Oh, wow,
there you
that's
go.
so nice.
Where is Google just making that up, or did they have a source?
It's the AI overview. So somebody
So
said
like
it.
it's taking an overview of what people have said about me,
Yeah.
and then it says that.
As much as you do like that, it does piss you off too, because you're like, I want to be sexy. Like, you know, you do that.
You
thing
know,
too
you know what? I
sometimes.
think I've settled into the part of my life. Well, no, like, yeah, being sexy does not matter to me at all. I think I would rather be a good person.
Wow, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Listen to this. AI says Jamie's been described as a woman you kind of just want to be your best friend. The computer with all the knowledge just wants what I have.
Oh,
What about that, huh? Wow.
I'm right here
living-
for you,
I'm
Robbie.
living AI's fantasy
You're living
life.
Google
I get
fantasy,
to see-
AI overview.
I get to be best friends with
That's
Jamie-Lynn.
very nice.
Well,
Time for me to shake things up, guys.
Yeah, ooh, putting your foot
Kidding.
down.
My kids would not agree with this.
No, come on, you're the.
Nor would Cutter once a month.
Yeah, that's but
Listen, he knows. And now I'm at the point where I've told my kids, like, if I'm like
Mommy
snappy with
bleeds.
Bo, I'm like, listen, this is that time of month. This just happens. Like, this is what happens sometimes to women. Like, you can't take it personal. And he was like, well, what do? I was like, don't look at me and wait unless I address you.
Whoa.
That is how you're safe during this
I
time.
believe that's what like the number one asshole celebrity, when they try and make someone seem like a really bad person, it's like, yeah, they said don't even look
That's
at
right.
me.
But that's how I feel. I'm like, how will you be safe? Just ignore me unless I address you.
You know what's gonna be hilarious? The first time like you're
And he likes it.
When I was young, I used to dream of being anything: an astronaut, the president, a scientist. But as you get older, your dreams change, focusing less on running the world and more on how you can take your skills and ideas and turn them into something real. Instead of dreaming of going to space, maybe you start dreaming of owning your own business. You'll need a website, a payment system, a logo, and a way to advertise to new customers. It can all be overwhelming and confusing, but thankfully, that is where today's sponsor, Shopify, comes in. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to companies like us here at YMH. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/nottoday. Go to shopify.com/nottoday. That's shopify.com/nottoday. How old is Jack?
7.
It's going to be funny the first time like a girl in school is mean to Jack and he's like, oh, it must be that time of the month for the little 7-year-old girl.
That would be funny.
Speaking of kids, do you have that video from the news of what the lady did?
Faces charges after bringing alcohol-infused Jell-O shots to a 5th grade Christmas party, sickening nearly dozens of students at a local elementary school. This woman, 33-year-old Teresa Isabel Bernal, was arrested Tuesday and charged with injury to a child after an investigation by Tyler ISD police. An affidavit says Bernal brought Jell-O shots to a December 20th classroom party, claiming she didn't know they contained alcohol. Of the 15 students who consumed them, nearly all reported stomach aches, headaches, dizziness, or vomiting, with some passing out and requiring nurse visits. Teachers, suspicious after tasting the shots, confirmed alcohol content, later identified as vodka from a local business advertising Smirnoff. Bernal, a trusted parent at school events, was released on a $75,000 bond. This case remains under investigation.
I mean, obvious.
I'm assuming she was a mom there because she's at this class
Yeah, it said
party.
trusted
It said
mom.
she was a trusted mom, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to say, obviously, what she did was shitty, but those kids sound like a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, hold your liquor.
Yeah.
Whoa, how do you mistakenly bring? Did she have a batch that was full of vodka and a batch that wasn't?
Yeah, well, that's what you do when you're making your kid. I mean, but also, what is she making kids?
Yeah,
Jell-O
why are you
shots
making
for
Jell-O
fun?
shots for kids?
I guess that would just be Jell-O.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she's making them for kids.
Whoa,
That's a wild.
that is wild.
So here
and
was
I've been to a
my-
lot of class parties.
Right, and my question for you is like, how do you now address that mom? Like, does she?
Oh, she's done.
She's gone out of your school.
She's
Yeah.
she's for sure
But then
done.
you're punishing
Gone.
the kid because the kid can't come to the school anymore.
Well, no, the kid can still go to the school. The mom's out of the PTO. Mom's out of the school parties, events for sure.
She's now untrusted mom.
Correct.
Yeah, instead of trusted
Yeah.
mom.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
It's dangerous out there.
Well, I have another. Do you have the video with the cats? So I just want to say, my algorithm went to another level.
With cats?
Showing me this video here. This guy's a cat chiropractor.
I love animal chiropractors.
Hold on. Oh! Ah!
Das tat weh.
Shocked to see this wasn't in America. This one loved it.
Oh. It was so happy.
All right, we could turn that off. That's
I love watching dogs get adjusted. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
those
I've
videos?
seen a
Where
dog-
the dog's eyes go like super wide and then
Here's why my algo went to another level, right? And this is my YouTube shorts, right, that they show me when I'm laying in bed. I'm allergic to cats. I don't like cats. I never watch cat videos. I don't watch chiropractor videos. And so when they showed this to me, I go, this is not at all what I'd want to see. But then I was like, oh, I should show this on the pod. So I was like, wow, did my algo somehow pick up that
what
like,
you're needing for the pod?
yeah,
Probably.
that's crazy. Because I would otherwise like I'd be like, why is this?
Do you
this has
have
nothing
you
to do with
gotten
my
on the
algorithm.
ChatGPT train?
I do, but not the same as like other people where they're like everything.
It's like a therapist.
Yeah. Well, so here's something I heard that was really interesting about ChatGPT, right? Which I thought you would like. I was going to tell you this outside of the pod, but I'll tell you now. So there was this woman who was saying like everyone's interacting with ChatGPT like the wrong way. ChatGPT doesn't know who it is, but we treat it like Google. So when we're like, what's the best way to do this or whatever, what she says is like, you should actually talk to it like it's the greatest actor in the world. And you're like, you're a doctor. Tell me blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
and the way that
yes.
you should talk to it is like, this is who you are. I'm letting you know right now. And this is the
That's what my
information
friend does. When
That's-
she asks for advice, she say, "You are a world-renowned therapist
Yeah.
who gives tough love but validates feelings, who has a extreme interest in making me better and succeed, whatever. What would you say to me if blah 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 blah?"
See, that's
Wild.
AI's coming for
Wild.
everybody.
So do you think AI is just basically tapping into like the consciousness, like what we all try to reach, like where that sort of field of information that people can grab things from, it's sort of like a direct line to that now?
I don't think so yet. I think it still just has all the information that people have given it. And is on the internet.
But the more personal you get, the more it gets to know you, right? The more you use it, the more it gets to know you and what you like. Because the things my girlfriend was showing me that it was giving her advice on was pretty incredible.
Like, can you give an example?
Unfortunately, I feel like it'll get very specific for her, but just like of choices she needs to make and about relationships and family and this and that. And like when I read the response, I was like, it knew exactly what it was anticipating a choice she would have made that she did not talk about with ChatGPT. It was like, I know that you're going into the future right now. I know where your head is going. You need to stop right now. And like, she didn't give any hints into that.
Well, one of the things that I think, not, I want to say it the other way that I'm thinking. One of the things that for me, when I went to go get help and get therapy, that really helped me was like, I thought when I spoke to the therapist, the stuff I was going to say was going to be so like groundbreaking and him have to be like, wow, how am I going to really think about this? But like, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the stuff that I told him and he's like, oh yeah, well then for that, like you do this. And that was it. And I was like, oh, like that's it. So I think we think that our problems are way more like
Of course.
unique and complex than they really are because I think most of the time it's pretty easy to figure out what we're going through and what the best way to deal with it is.
It's much simpler than
yeah,
we
like
think.
I think it's very rare that like the best therapists are like, man, I don't
A real head scratcher.
Yeah, like oh, this person is married and this happened today and I don't know what to tell them. Like I think they're like, no, this is very like common and here's what you do and here's how you make this better and just it's getting it to work. Like I think the recommendations of what to do are like usually not as hard to come across as we think, but then it's like executing it.
Yes, of course. That's when the free will comes in and that's when it's in your hands. Yeah.
Yeah. To go to something very deep, I thought, so we didn't have time for this in the 100th episode, but I asked them to pull your best 5 looks from the first 100 episodes, and I want you to rate them.
Looks like meaning how I showed up here?
Yeah. I
Oh,
wanted
wow.
you to say what you thought was your best look of
But
the
who
first
picked
100
these
episodes.
5? Wow, I look like I just rolled out of bed. That is not a
Really?
good look.
I think you look nice. I think you look like you know who you look like? Aunt Janice, but not. You know, you look kind of like you look like,
Crazy.
No, you just look. You
okay.
look. You look well.
I said I didn't like it.
You look well to do, put together, but maybe you're.
could try harder.
Maybe you're a little out there.
I could try harder.
Maybe you're
I
a
could
little,
do better.
Maybe you're a little kooky.
I could do better. Definitely cuckoo.
Yeah, but you look great. Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, I think this must have been towards the beginning because this lighting is not helping you either. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's my bad.
Wait.
I apologize for that
thank
part.
you.
Yeah. Well, we never try and go to you guys for help.
Well, this
Oh,
is a
right.
personal favorite of mine.
Wow. You look fantastic here.
That's Cutter's least favorite T-shirt that I own. He hates when I wear that shirt. He hates it.
What about it?
I don't know. I don't know why he fucking hates it so much. Every time I put it on, he's like, ugh. He hates it.
Really?
Yeah.
And so you just keep rocking it.
I like it. It's like, it's that perfect T-shirt that's like the perfect size. Like, it's like a
course.
little oversized, but not too much. This is a good look. Yeah.
Now you just went from Janice to Melfi.
Yeah.
You
Look
know?
at me. I'm so versatile.
Yeah, you're like a therapist here. You look.
I
like
love
you,
that
and
sweater.
the way you're
I love
looking
a
at
slick
him.
back hair look. I
Yeah.
had good makeup that day. We were going out that night. That's why.
Oh, that's how you went out in that therapist.
Oh, well,
in
that's-
that turtleneck.
yeah.
I mean,
I've never been happier.
wow, that's you with a monkey. I mean, what a great,
Never been happier.
what a wonderful.
That's all I've ever wanted was a monkey to like hold me that way.
Yeah, in a diaper. You look professional here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look like I cared. I tried. Mama tried.
Is this in the beginning too?
No.
This is 61.
Oh, this is episode 60. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jamie-Lynn from episode 61. That's wow. Okay. You love the slick back
yeah,
hair
there's
look.
the slick back hair look. Yeah.
Okay. Episode 36. This is what you.
It's all right.
What's
Oh.
been? There you go.
That's I'm wearing the same sweatshirt right now.
There you go.
That's me at my core.
You
I
look
feel
like,
like-
you skate.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah. Again, see, I like to play around with looks.
You look like you would come to the
I really-
bad thoughts premiere with Tanner.
Maybe I'd be mighty pleased.
That'd be a level up for you.
Nah, I wouldn't.
This is Jersey Jamie for sure.
This is the episode you did, 76.
right. That's
you
like
only have one
that's like
background
New
there.
York Jersey Jamie, for sure.
Wow. What is this, like 4th of July barbecue, Jamie?
I don't know what Jamie version this is.
I kinda
I
like
look like I have giant boobs.
I kind of like you looking at your own looks and rating them.
Really?
I like this vibe,
This
yeah.
feels weird.
Because I don't
It's
know.
just an unfortunate angle, but my boobs look enormous.
It's fun hearing someone critique themselves, you know?
Yeah.
What else is that it? There you go.
That's like
my
me
look.
on a Sunday morning, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like
I think
yeah.
you're wearing my hoodie there.
I might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 96. I was. I think that was when I was wore your hoodie.
Is that it? Yeah. All right, now do we have mine? Here we go.
Okay. Well, episode one, fresh face out of the gate.
Amazing. The black hoodie. Okay.
Okay, a
episode
little
18.
a little more scruffier in the beard.
Yep. Love that look, the black hoodie. There we go.
Well, another day, same outfit.
Episode 24, we got the black hoodie look. Very
Another
nice.
day, same outfit.
35, we got the black hoodie look. I like it. Ooh, 45,
45.
the black hoodie with the
Yeah,
white
with
tee.
a different Yankee hat.
Ah, I like. There you go.
Oh,
57, the
yeah.
black hoodie look. Yeah, I like
Oh,
it.
a green
Oh!
hoodie. You really threw us
Wow,
there.
yeah, I don't like it. No. 76, I'm back
Oh.
to me. There we go.
Are you on the other side?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
one
that was
you
for
did.
mine. That's
yeah,
right.
look, the black hoodie. I mean,
Oh,
look at
well,
this. Black hoodie.
Black hoodie.
All right. Well, I think I look great in all. I think I look great in all.
That's
of
about
them.
it.
Fantastic.
You really threw me with that green one.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you gotta
Good for
keep
you.
them guessing.
Keep us on our toes.
In your house, I know you told me that you saw, or like on your property in your area, you saw a tarantula
Mm-hmm.
before. You had the baby fox come to your window. Do you have any other like wildlife?
Well, now we have birds that have built a nest right over our front door. The birds have moved from the back and now have come around to the front.
But are you just letting them stay in the
We
front? 'Cause I know
are.
they
Cutter
bothered
and
you in
I
the
were
back.
actually peering out the front door the other day because they're swallows. And let me tell you, these motherfuckers they will attack you. Now that the nest is there and there's clearly eggs, every night the mom sits on the nest and the dad or whoever is on the next beam over and just sits and watches them all night.
Wow.
And if we come out, starts like like, fluttering its wings at us. Fortunately, we don't use our front door to go in and out. Like, we always come in through our garage or our laundry door. But yeah, and we're just letting it be now.
Have they ever come after the Amazon people?
Probably. I don't know. I should check the Ring camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super aggressive.
I got a package that came to your house for me. Did Cutter tell you?
Oh yeah, he told me it's inside. It's safe inside. Don't you worry.
All right, 'cause they would only
Where'd
let
they
me-
come from?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
speaking of my black hoodie, black hat looks, they stopped making these hats in America. I had to go to Australia.
Why did you need new ones? Are they worn?
I mean, they start to get sweaty. I have one that I wear
Right.
to the gym. I have one that I wear on
So
my
you'll
walks.
throw those away.
Yeah. Well, I was holding on to them for way too long because of they stopped making them. But then I found them in Australia. So I went to order 30 from Australia, but they would only give me 10.
30?
Yeah, just to have like in the closet, just waiting for me when I
How
need
long
'em.
does a hat last?
I mean, it could last. I mean, in the worst scenario, like if I wear it and I ended up sweating a lot or whatever, it's fucking 110 degrees here
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes.
it's
Like,
gross.
Sometimes
Can you wash a hat?
It doesn't keep. Like 3 weeks would be the lowest, but then sometimes 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but you never know. I wanted to buy enough to where I didn't feel like, oh, I don't want to get rid of this hat. I wanted the like, I don't spend money on fucking anything. I wanted the freedom to be like, some autistic individuals may wear the same clothes due to sensory. Oh yeah, of course. I've said on this pod 50 times I'm autistic. Yeah, that's what AI knows. AI know that. But I wanted the freedom because I knew what it was like to not be able to find them in America and find them anywhere. I knew what that was like. So I was like, when I fucking find these, I'm buying 30 of them. So but they would only let me buy 10. So I hit up Cutter. I'm like, yo, I need you to order 10 of these hats. And then when I went to go, I had a third person I was going to have order them, and they wouldn't. They were like, oh, no, we don't have any left.
Wow.
So I got the last 20 of these from Australia, and they took weeks to get here. But hey, we're back.
We're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
They're in the house. We've got them safe and sound for you.
What there was a talk about your a sleepover at your house where the kids stayed up until 3:30 in the morning, and Cutter had to go lay down the law.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, we left them at about midnight, and
you told them, hey, it's midnight, bedtime.
like I was like,
'Cause
come on, guys,
normally-
like go to bed soon.
Normally
and
bedtime is like
for my kids, like
7:30?
8:30. Yeah,
you-
unless it's a weekend.
you pushed it to midnight. That's really
Well,
nice.
I mean, he's 11. He has 3 boys sleeping over. It was like fine. I remember staying up late for my sleepovers. I
sure.
wanted him to have a good time.
Did you have to discuss with the other moms like, hey, I'm going to let them stay up till midnight, or
No,
they
I
just...
think it was known that the kids will just stay up. But here's was my rookie mistake. So Bo doesn't have a phone, but a few of the other kids do. And so I don't think about give me your phone before bed. Like I didn't think or to ask the moms like, do you want me to take their phone before they go to bed?
Right.
So they were up all night on their phones. And then I found them up in like our theater room pounding. Well, I heard a door slam at 3 a.m. and I looked at Cutter and I'm like, all right, you got to go. And he went upstairs and found them like pounding candy. But one of the moms.
Thank God you said candy.
I know. But I texted the moms in the morning and I was like, and then they were all up, at like 6:30 or 7. I texted all the moms. I'm like, listen, they're definitely going to come back to you tired. They definitely were eating a lot of junk food and staying up late. Like, apologies. I'm sorry. Like, we kind of got them to bed around 3:30. And one of the moms, has like you're hooked up to your kid's phone so you can see what they search and you can see what they do. And she's like, yeah, I saw he was using the phone at like 2:30 in the morning this morning. Like when I was like, oh shit. She's like, I'm sorry. I should have told you. She's like, I normally obviously take his phone at a certain hour. And I didn't think
What do you
about
think they
it.
were Googling at 2:30 in the
Who
morning?
knows, these boys.
Holy cow, I can't even imagine. Like, so, because I think, like,
I felt so bad.
I started smoking, drinking, and stuff at 12, but at 11, we were definitely, like, probably talking about it and stuff. Do you catch any wind of that?
No, you know what's so interesting? When I hear Bo and his friends talk about it, it's like it's still like a very bad thing.
That's
like
good.
drugs are super bad. Like they're such athletes too. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. They're very, focused on being strong. And also I just feel like there's so much more focus with young people on wellness and health in a way that like nobody talked about when we were young.
But also
ever.
that curiosity, that first, like,
Of course.
you know?
Look, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I know it's coming, but Bo is a very young 11-year-old. Like,
Right.
I see him next to some of his friends who definitely have hair under their arms, and Bo is so far away from that. Like,
Right.
so far. He, like, likes to still hang out with his 7-year-old brother all the time, you know? So, but definitely, you know, when I've been around a bigger group of his friends, like, I would have no doubt that one or two of them are watching porn already.
Watching.
Porn.
Wow. Okay. Have you heard of any like talks from other moms? Like, yeah, we caught him smoking or drinking or any of that.
No, there's
Wow.
talks about 8th grade kids that are like Bo said, he's like, Mom, this 8th grade kid got caught vaping. So like he knows what it is.
See, what was really fucked up about growing up in New York City is like I didn't do this, but there were kids who would like pick up cigarette butts off the ground and smoke them
Oh,
because they wanted to smoke so bad. Yeah, that was not my. I was like, ew.
Ew.
Like even at fucking 11,
Not that
12, I
desperate.
was like, I'm waiting
Yeah.
until we can get a full cigarette.
Yeah.
I'm not smoking like people's discarded.
gross. Oh my God. The first time I tried a cigarette was a Marlboro Red. I
Me
was
too.
probably 16 and I threw up everywhere after one puff. Oh,
Mine was a
It made me
Marlboro Red,
dizzy.
and I almost fell through a bookcase.
yeah. I made me so dizzy. I fell down. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost fell back, and I was like, I need that every day, again and again and again. And then you.
And my reaction was never again until
then-
I'm 24 and depressed and need a cigarette.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later, like it was gone. Like you don't get dizzy anymore, and you're like, fuck.
Oh,
Like,
wow. Is it that quick?
And then you're like, I gotta. What's the next drug? What's gonna get me dizzy?
Yeah, I don't know how I used to be a smoker. What did I smoke for? Like 2 years, maybe?
A bit. Yeah, it's hard.
I don't
was
know
in my
how I
heyday
did.
of-
Because even if like, you know, friends are having like a cigarette and a night out, and I'm like, I'll have a little drag, and I'm like, I literally feel it through my entire body, weak in my knees. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's been over 10
Can't.
years since I've even taken a puff. I can't even imagine how bad. I'd probably hate it.
Yeah.
But I am always tempted to try a Zyn, but I
Zyn.
haven't. Because I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard people.
There's so people talk about I don't know if I'm getting fed it because we talk about it a lot at home, but like I'm definitely seeing a lot of benefits to it that I'm
yeah.
being fed all those videos about it. Even for MS, I saw stuff about nicotine for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Where were you when you smoked your first cigarette? That Marlboro Red.
My friend Blake's house.
Oh, I was at this kid Gabe's house. Yeah.
Cool.
And I
Blake
remember
Charno.
and I remember because I've told you this before, I think, and we talked about it in the pub, but I thought I was gonna die because like
Yeah.
my mom would always tell me you have asthma. If you smoke a cigarette, you're gonna die. And like so I
Wow,
always
you were
had that
really
in my
living on
head.
the
I'm like, you're
edge.
gonna die. Yeah, I thought I was gonna die at 12. Like I was literally like,
Were you literally
All right,
going to
here we
take the
go.
cigarette and
I
you
was
were like, okay, this is it?
yeah, like I was
Wow.
like, here we go, because I had to try it.
Was that pre or post shooting the pilot?
It was before.
Before.
Yeah. And I remember
You
like,
wouldn't have gambled with your life then.
Yeah, no. Once we were on a hit show, I could. Yeah, no. So I remember taking a hit of it, and then like blowing out the smoke and not dying, like almost falling through the bookcase, and then like getting back and then being like, oh, what else are they lying about? Like that was the first thing I thought about. Is like, what's next? Like, what else am I trying? And then I
Wow,
was
that
like,
completely changed your
and
mind.
then I forget what order, but I remember then it was like that's when the drinking, the smoking, like everything just started like
Snowballing.
Yeah, and it was kind of like we talk about Sopranos, where like I don't remember like Sopranos coming out and then like it kind of fading away and then picking back up. Like
Mhm.
as soon as I was like drinking and smoking in this, it was like anytime I had any free time, it was like, can we drink? Can we
Wow.
smoke? Can
I'm
we...
still so impressed that you were able to like turn it on and off the way you did for work.
Yeah, I mean, because well, you know, when you're like 15, 16, it's still like an exciting thing you're doing. It's not this like debilitating addiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you're just like, this is the thing I want to do.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know, by the time I was 30, I was like, I need this stuff or
Yeah.
I can't function.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
It's-
your nervous system was shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was pretty shot. Out of all the stuff that you've talked about, right? Like that you've tried to better yourself physically, spiritually, all that stuff. What do you think is like the number one or top 3 things that like
Meditation.
meditation
Hands down.
that have helped?
Meditation.
And like your trip to India, that was a big one, right?
Yeah, and that was just about meditation, essentially. I think it's just, for me, it's the thing that allows me to release all my expectations. It's like a giant trust fall into my life and a giant hug of acceptance and surrender in a way that's just kind of like content with what is and open to what's coming. I'm definitely out of my practice right now and I feel it. Like it's the thing I feel the most when I'm not doing enough. Like if I'm eating shitty, if I'm not stretching, if I'm not moving my body, yeah, I feel that physically. But what really, really affects me and my life is when I'm not meditating a lot. What about you?
I mean, for me, like,
Water?
it's hard because I do it all together. Yeah, water. But, like, I feel like the diet and exercise is so key. But it's hard for me to know with meditation because I haven't not done it for
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
I haven't missed a day. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be like to not. Where, like, I've gone 5 days without exercising. I've
Yeah.
gone days of eating bad. And I know how bad it, like, fucks me up. But also the thing I'm realizing now is, like, for me, it's, like, trying not to get worked up by stuff because it's
Well, that's
so-
what happens to me when I don't meditate a lot. Like
Right.
I'm finding myself really, I even said it to Cutter on the way here. Like there's just been a lot of things this week in particular. And I'm just like, I don't like the way I'm responding to things. I don't like I'm reacting to things. And I feel like I can't get ahead of it. And I know that when I'm meditating more, I handle those things better.
What do you think out of all the stuff you've tried is like the biggest bullshit? Like, I know you probably got a lot of those because you've tried a lot of shit. Like, is there stuff that was like, this is going to work once you try this, is going to change your life, and you try and you're like, this is total bullshit?
You know, I got to be honest. I don't think that I've ever stuck with anything long enough to really know either way that if it really works or it doesn't, other than meditation. I think that I've done diets, but I've never done them for 6 months. I've done them for 3. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I'm not really feeling it. And then all of a sudden I'll have a slice of pizza. And then I'm like, now I'm like back to kind of like my regular eating again. It's a flaw on my personality, especially living with what I live with and like, but I think I spent 20 years of my 25 years with MS, like desperately trying to like fix it and desperately trying to make it go away. And I just don't want to be on that like race and that train anymore.
Yeah.
So,
But I feel like you've given things enough to where like
I mean,
you had that
did I go to the
Tesla-
Dominican Republic and spend $75,000 on fetal stem cells to a guy that swore to me that I was going to walk out of there and be running in a week? Yes. Did it work? No.
This is what I was looking for. Okay, so wait. So
Did I go to a place in San Diego and spend $10,000 because they were going to put something in my thigh that was going to blow up a vein in my neck and tell me I was going to cure me of MS? Yes. Did it work? No.
this is the bullshit. So just wait, Tanner, do you know what she's talking about when she said the fecal transplants?
Like putting poop in her butt?
You put other people's poop in your
I
butt.
thought she
have
said
not
like
tried that.
fetus. I thought she said like.
No,
she
I
put-
just said fetal stem cells.
Oh, you said fecal.
Oh, I have never
You
done
haven't
a fecal
the fecal
transplant.
thing. Okay, my bad.
Is that like the adrenochrome thing?
Exactly.
Wow.
I've never done that, but people do talk about that.
But wait, so you did? Yeah, I know because the feces one you had talked about before, and I didn't
Fetal
think you did it.
stem cells
I
is
know.
stem cells from like a fetus.
No, I get that, but I'm saying the poop thing you've talked about before, and I didn't know you did it. I thought you were just telling me that you tried it. I was like, oh my god! And then I was like,
no.
you spent $75,000 to get poop
Oh
stuffed
my
in your
god!
butt.
No way! I would have told you if I did that.
Yeah, but Tanner could get you somebody to do that for $500 probably.
I know a guy.
Yeah. So so you did the fetal stem implants. What? Explain.
I went to the Dominican Republic. I was picked up in a white van with my mom, brought to this weird house. This man was there. This beautiful Dominican older nurse was waiting. She was very lovely, but there was a lot of people there. It was like me. There was children. There was people in wheelchairs, and they would take us one by one in the back. You'd lay down on a table. He essentially would do a spinal tap and then said he was putting in fetal stem cells. You'd lay there for a little bit, and then I flew home the next day.
I bet that Dominican nurse had a great ass.
She was older and very large. Maybe. I didn't look.
When you said beautiful, I just
No, I meant like beautiful energy and loving.
Sure. The other
I
beautiful.
didn't say she was like hot.
Right. So you think it might have all been bullshit? Like he
I
wasn't
don't
even
know.
putting.
I don't know.
Wait,
Maybe it-
$75,000 just to go to some hut?
when you're desperate and you're searching.
How old were you?
25?
Why the only place in the world you could find it was the DR?
Well, they weren't doing it in the US. It wasn't FDA approved. There was no trials that I could be a part of. It was like I don't even know how it came across my desk, but it did.
How was this the building you walked in, the house you walked into? Is
It was
like,
just like, I mean, it wasn't like disgusting, but
There's
it
no
was
way
like a
he's-
small home in the Dominican Republic. It wasn't fancy. It was clean. It was serene, but it wasn't like a medical facility by any means.
there's no way they're charging everyone 75 grand in there, right? Did those other people look like they
Listen,
had 75
again,
grand?
when
I'm
pe- when-
asking.
I do. I think that's what
Everyone.
Yes, I think when you are fighting for your life and your health, there's no price tag on it. You will spend all of your money to feel better. It's what people say, it's like you can have a million problems, but if you have health problems, you have one. It's just where you're going to put all of your money and time and energy. And that's what I did for 20 years. And so that's why I think like, that's what I was saying, like the last 4 or 5 years have just been me really just kind of trying to like ride the wave more than like fight it.
Have you ever had somebody try and get you to do that implant again? Like that same thing you did? Like they were like, oh, that guy was no good. You have to go to this
When I
person.
did speak to them after, they said sometimes you need to do another round of it. And that's when
course.
I was just like, well, I can't afford that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you look that up now, can you look up the price of that now? What is it called again?
I don't think it's something that's like publicized. I think you have to go down a long road to get to the price of it. But look, there are legit facilities now across the world that do it. I know they do a lot of it in Panama. I know they do it in Israel. Like I do believe that that's the future of medicine. I do think that stem cells will save us. I do think that is the future. I just think they're still figuring it out. And I think that I paid a lot of money to just be a guinea pig, essentially.
Wait, also 20 years ago, of course it's going to be way more expensive. I was just curious that now, what is it called exactly?
A fetal
implant?
fetal stem cell
Fetal
therapy.
stem cell?
There you go.
Fetal stem cell therapy or MS can range from 20,000 to 50 grand. Wow, depending on the protocol and clinic. It's probably training for the cost of stem cells. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well. All right.
Take my money.
We're gonna start a Go Fecal Me instead of GoFundMe.
Do you want me to do a fecal transplant now?
Yeah, I think you should try. How much does that? How much do
I
those
have no
cost?
idea. I don't think those even happen in the US. I think you've got to go overseas for those things.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Well, that's a full circle pod. We will see you guys next week.